Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of December 2014. This is episode 107, Mommies Need Sick Days Too. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. I did not record yesterday because I slept all day. Both of my kids have colds. Mara's kind of a disaster right now. She's very whiny.
No.
Yes, she is.
Mommy, I'm sick.
And she hasn't been sleeping very well. You hear her? She's sick. Might have to pause this in a moment to deal with her.
Mommy, I'm sick.
So yesterday we slept all day, basically. And I'm hoping that I can get this recorded before the sun sets because we're about an hour away from sunset and sometimes it takes a long time to record an episode. Anyway, let's get on with all the things. Quick announcement. I was contacted. Well, was I contacted specifically? No, I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure there's a link in the enabler alert thread to the cabled kitty hat by Jennifer Riley, member of the group. And that hat is really cute. And it is free until January 1st, 2015. So if it's not in the enabler thread, I will put it in the enabler thread, but I'm pretty sure it's there. So go check it out.
Mommy,
It's very cute.
I'm sick.
I know. This face is sick. Okay, I have one finished object, but it is in the mail. P.S. Prize winners, your prizes are in the mail if I have your address. Yeah, so that happened. So that I finished Brian's hat this morning. All I had was that one ear flap, but it's finished now. I made it using acrylic, Red Heart Super Saver white, Kieran 1 pound black, and some random red acrylic. No pattern. I made it up as I went. I made the hat long enough, and then I used stitch markers to mark where the ear flaps should be, and went from there, and it turned out fine, I think. And I used a size USG 6 hook, which I believe is 4.0 or 4.25 millimeter. Last week I said it was smaller than it is. It's definitely at least a 4.0, but it might be a 4.25. Or it might be both. I think it's one of those hooks that's kind of, it spans depending on what hook you have. Works in progress. One of the side effects of working 8-hour shifts all last week is that I didn't do as much knitting as I wanted to because, obviously 3 hours extra working each shift, but then all the extra sleeping because the working cut into my sleep time, not during my normal daytime, so then I was extra tired. But I do have some things to show you. I started Mara's doll, which I was talking about last week. So this is all that I have. So I embroidered lips and eyes, and I'm going to sew this onto some sort of backing to make hair. Probably going to use a mixture of brown fabric for backing and brown yarn to create hair. So that's all I have done, but I wrote out the list of parts that I need to cut out, and I pulled the fabrics for it. So it started, yay! The Christmas tree, you might notice, is not hung up because Santa doesn't like messy houses. And Gabriel has not been cooperative with the cleaning the past couple days. He has chores that are his, they're set. They're not a lot. He needs to keep his room clean, feed the dogs, and then help straighten one room a day. Like he needs to pick up the floor, throw away garbage that may have accumulated. I do the vacuuming and all the extra stuff, but that's his job. So when he doesn't do that, Santa takes our Christmas tree away. But Santa has very graciously allowed me to borrow it to show you, but then I have to immediately give it back until Gabriel cleans what he's supposed to today. So this is what it looks like, and Santa also doesn't put ornaments on the Christmas tree when things don't get clean, so there are only that many. So this might not be finished, all ornamented, by Christmas. Depends on if my children are cooperative or not. I'm trying to be understanding because they are both sick. Mara's feeling the brunt of it way more than Gabriel is. He just has a little bit of a cough, but they both have that death rattle in the morning. You know, where like you hear it and they start coughing and you're like, oh, this is going to hurt. And then by the end of their coughing, they're like, oh, that hurts so bad. So, yeah. I'm trying to be lenient, but it's, they're not being cooperative, so they don't get a Christmas tree. It is what it is. It's an excellent motivator when it works, though. I am working on the socks that I started last week, that I had started last week. They were in the cuff somewhere, and now they are, oh, that looks so good. I have, I've gotten through the setup, the cuff, the setup, and I'm into the first repeat of the leg. These socks take forever because you start with a standard cuff size, but then you increase a bajillion stitches because you are doing these cables, and cables are not so elastic. I think that it probably would have worked with a few less stitches, but you know, I'm not the designer. This is what the pattern looks like. These are the Sam socks by Cookie A, and they are out of the Sock Innovation book. I'm super enjoying working on them, but they just take forever. These are knit on US size 1s, 2.25 millimeters, and this yarn, oh, I'm so happy. It's like the best rainbow ever. Look at all that green and the neutrals. It is Zombie Party in Rochester, which is a Dancing Dog Dyeworks colorway. And this is the, does the sock yarn have nylon in it or not? I can't remember. I don't remember what base it is, and the tag is not easily accessible. So it may or may not have nylon, but it's definitely a superwash merino. The other thing I started was a sock. So you remember I was telling you about the socks that I'm making for a knitter friend for her husband? So that I'm making it for her for Christmas, but they're for her husband. I started those, and this is the first one. It is 3x3 rib for the leg, because at least it's something, and it's really stretchy, and it will stay up very well because he wanted a long leg. This is 8 inches, and I am doing a afterthought heel because, okay, so there's reasons behind all of the things that I'm doing in the sock, as there usually are. So I'm doing cuff down because I want the toe to be the last thing to be bound off. He is really hard on his socks, and he wears through the toes and the heels. So that Lorraine doesn't have to knit him an entirely new pair of socks when he blows out this one, I am doing an afterthought heel, which is also known as a peasant heel, and peasant heels are nice because when you blow them out, you just take out the heel and knit a new heel instead of an entirely new sock. I am also doing them cuff down because then she can just rip back the toe to where the problem child is and re-knit the toe, because she would much rather knit something than darn something. So that's why it's kind of a that's why I'm using the modular-ish pieces in it, so that they're removable and she can change them out later. She doesn't like knitting him socks because his feet are substantially bigger than hers. I don't mind. He only wears a size 10. That's easy peasy. But I also wear a women's size 9, and he wears a men's size 10. So the gap between that is not so much. She wears a women's size 7. the length gap between that is huge. So I'm knitting these for her, and this is Peyton's Croy in the Clover Colors colorway. He already has socks in this colorway, so I know that he likes them because he wears them. And she has socks in this colorway that he tries to steal because he likes the colorway. So I figured it was a good bet. And I'm keeping it in my kitchen counter crafter bag, which is so cute and makes me so happy. And that's all I'm working on this week. I don't know. The reason this sock has gotten so much love is because, well, I was too tired to concentrate on anything last week. And what I've been doing a lot lately is watching movies with my kids curled up. And 2 at a time socks with kids on you is a lot more complicated than one sock on a 9-inch circular going round and round and round. So that's why the sock got so much love. But I have a ton of new things. I'm so excited to show you my new things. Okay, where to start? First, I need to pull up some stuff. Just a moment. I woke up on Thursday, I checked my email, and there was a message from Ravelry that I had received a download. So I went to Ravelry, and it said, Sort of a Knitter has sent you a gift pattern from Wendy Knits. Clicked on the link, and it says, they bought you a pattern, isn't that nice, blah, blah, blah. Included the following message. Hey there, I want to do a KAL, what say you? I love this pattern and thought, well, damn, I need some color work in my life. So, comrade, will you join the enlightened, or will the resistance hold you captive? Josh. So this is what he sent me, this pattern. I cannot pronounce it, and I will not try, but hopefully you can kind of see. It is a crazy colorwork fingering weight cowl. It is SANQUHAR, and the yardage requirements are a little bit insane. It is 1,300 yards in color A and 1,500 yards in color B. Yep, totally doing it. I'm going to use these 2 yarns for the color A, I think. They're from Hippie Penguin Fibers, and one is the Bunnyfish Crafts colorway, which is this one, and this one is the Sort of a Knitter colorway. And I'm pretty excited to use that. So the reason why I'm telling you all this, blah, 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 is because I got the pattern and I was really excited, and I was like, I want to start this right away, but I don't have yarn in stash that's appropriate. I can use these yarns for one of them, for one of the colorwork parts, but I don't have a contrast color that's appropriate. So I went to Joann's because I had coupons, and I was like, well, I can pick up fingering weight at Joann's. They didn't carry the stuff that I wanted. I wanted, they didn't have any white or cream or any light neutral color, even gray I would have gone with. They didn't have any solid color sock yarn. So I'm going to have to go to Michael's because it doesn't look like they carry it at all. I was looking at tags and everything. But I was there, and I had 2 coupons that expired that day. This day was Saturday. So I saw this yarn, and I had to get it. I mean, I'm going to be making Josh Christmas socks next year, or socks sometime anyway. So this is Peyton's Croy Socks in the Spring Leaf Stripes. It's gray and black. Not really black, kind of a dark gray, light gray, and a yellow. Love this color. Once upon a time in high school, I had a coat that was this gray color, and it had reflecty strips on it down the arms and across the shoulder, but like military stripes, not like, I don't know how to explain. It's kind of a like a cross between a military coat and a fireman's coat. I loved that jacket so much. And it looked like this. That's all. That wasn't really an important story. I also received at knitting some sock yarn leftovers, and I was really entertained because this is one of them. It looks almost exactly like this. They're different yarns though. They're not the same makeup, but that's fun. So that's going in one of the sock yarn blankets, probably two of them. And then this is gorgeous, and I do have the tag for this. This is Wonderland Yarns, the Cheshire Cat colorway. It is 100% superwash merino, and this is from Frabjous Fibers. It's just beautiful. My friend made the, oh, I can't remember what it's called now. I want to say the Nightingale shawl, but that might be incorrect. Shawlette. It was very pretty. It was her first ambitious lace project. And because I helped her through it, she was like, here, it's kind of a lot of yarn left over, but it's not enough for me to make like a real something. So I want you to have it for your blankets. I was like, yes, it's so pretty. And then, I know I have so much new stuff this week. And then I received a package in the mail this week from Christina. And this package is kind of insane. Look at this. Do you know what these are? These are Hexapuffs. She sent me 29 Hexapuffs because she received them from someone at her quilting group. They made 29, decided they didn't want to do anymore, and I'm totally okay with that. So these are going to go over into my collection. I'm actually going to stuff them a little bit more because they're not quite as stuffed as I like mine. But if you watch The Knitting Room with Ellie, she talks about how to stuff them afterward. So I'll be doing that with a few of those because I just like mine really, really puffy. And these ones are a little bit bigger than mine, but again, I don't really think that it will matter so much if 29 are kind of bigger out of, I don't know, 1,000 Hexapuffs? A bajillion. Too many Hexapuffs, really. I'm a crazy person. Also, she sent her leftover bits for me to make into more puffs, and I like most of these yarns, but let me just show you the one that I'm most excited to work with. Look at how happy that yarn is. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for holiday crafting to be over so that I can be working on my sock yarn blankets. And then, still exciting, this is the hard copy pattern for the Beekeeper's quilt by Tiny Owl Knits, which is it's the pattern that I'm using for my Hexapuff blanket. And I will be giving that away at some point in the future. Not until after the holiday season for sure. But look out for that coming up. And I just want to say thank you, Christina. I can't remember if I actually sent you something on Ravelry or if I just thought about sending you something on Ravelry. I'm going to check after I'm done recording because I would feel like a jerk if I didn't. But I want to thank you on air for sending that to me. Thank you so much. I am really excited about those 29 Hexapuffs. 29 is a lot of Hexapuffs to not have to make yourself. Not that I mind making them, but it's nice to just have them there and ready. This week I have been listening to Outlander. Confession. Okay, so I'm kind of a terrible mom. Like, Outlander is not child appropriate. However, Mara really, really likes listening to the audiobook and cuddling. So we've been listening to Outlander. Am I scarring my daughter for life? She's 4. And I don't know. I kind of feel like a terrible mom, but I also kind of feel like she's not really listening because she's mostly just cuddled up against me and her head is on my chest, so how much could she be hearing over my heartbeat sort of thing? Yeah, we listened to an entire disc last night like that. Because she was really sick. She stayed up waiting for me to get off of work. Well, I think she fell asleep, but then she got up. And when I got home from work, Steve said, "You need to go cuddle with your baby." I was like, "Oh, is she awake in her room?" And he was like, "Ha, you're funny." Because I had seen that the light in our room was on when I got home, but I thought maybe he had just left it on when he went downstairs. He was like, "No, she's sitting in the bed waiting for you." So I walked in and she was like, "Hi, Mom. I'm sick. Let's cuddle." My heart grew 3 sizes. I know it's horrible. I don't want her to be sick, and I definitely don't want her to stay up all night when I'm at work. But I really needed those after work cuddles. So then we listened to a disc of Outlander and cuddled. And I put her to bed after that. Terrible mom, right? All of that was all bad momness. I finished reading Cress by Marissa Meyer, and I am very upset that I have to wait until next year to read it. I'm hoping that it's next year, like February release, but I'm not looking at the release date in case it's next year, October, because that'll be really sad. I really enjoyed it. The book grew on me over time. It's probably good that I have to wait though, because if I read the 4th one now, I'd be like, what am I reading? So it's probably good that I have to wait. But I'm really enjoying it. I really highly recommend the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. They take fairy tales and then base characters off of the stories and set them in a sci-fi-ish setting in the future. Not extremely sci-fi, but there is a little bit of space travel, cybernetics. Yeah, I mean, it's a little sci-fi, but it's not like, it's like sci-fi light. It's good. I highly recommend it if you like that. And it's also young adult, so the stories are really quick. I started reading, after I finished Cress, I started reading City of Glass, which I did bring in here. I thought maybe I hadn't, but I did. It is the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I was thinking last night how different the tone of the 3rd book is from the 1st book, and how I really enjoy that when books grow because the characters grow. I am enjoying this book. I like it more than the 2nd one, I think. I would say that I like this one more than the 2nd one. It's a little bit bleak sometimes because it's a war between descendants of angels and demons and other downworlders, vampires, werewolves, fairies, that sort of thing. But it's not a full out war, like they're kind of in limbo a little bit. It's good. I recommend it.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, baby girl. You're back just in time to say goodbye.
Bye.
That's all I have for you this week. I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string, and I can tell that my hair looks way darker now, so the sun is going down and we're losing light. I hope to see you next week, and goodbye.
Goodbye.